Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Beyond the Gates Season 2, Episode 14. Now, before we get into the video, I do want to apologize. I know I haven't posted in the last couple of days. I have been under the weather. I do have a good little amount of episodes that I'm going to be bringing to you guys, but I'm going to get these out to you as quick as possible. So, again, I apologize in advance. Well, not even in advance for behind me for what happened prior. But also, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. All right. So, we start the episode off with Chelsea and Kat are doing like a little um Instagram post live type thing or whatever, and they're just basically talking about how they went on a spa slash business they did a spa slash business meeting, and how pleasure and business can go hand in hand or whatever. And they talk about how they got that information from Danny, and Danny pops up in into the camera or whatever, and they all do their little snitch stitch or whatever. So they talk about, once they get off the live, they talk about how the spa felt good and the fact that they were able in there and get some stuff done for their business. They talk about how happy they are and they want to celebrate each other. I mean, they want to celebrate this or whatever. So Kat says, she's paying, so she's offering to take them to dinner since they're at the club, because they're at the club. That's where they had the little spawn in the meeting or whatever. So Danny is just like, I'm in. Chelsea's like, I'm in. And then Chelsea is just like, well, I wonder why you're not with Tomas or whatever. And Kat is just like, oh, Bill's working late, so he's gonna work late. He's trying to get on that partner tip or whatever. And as she says that, Danny, after she's done, they getting ready to go. Danny is just like, oh, I have something to do, so I'll meet you guys later or whatever. So we then see Ted, Shanice, Carlton, and Nicole. They're standing at the front, going into the dining hall or whatever. And Nicole is just, basically saying, okay, so this is what you wanted to talk to me about, blah, 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 blah. Nicole really doesn't care. Ted is looking like, oh, he's being real smug about the fact that he's on a date with a beautiful woman and all this other stuff, and just being real extra. And Shanice is not paying attention. And I wish my girl would pay attention, but she wasn't paying attention. But it is what it is at this point. So they all go to their separate tables or whatever. And Nicole and Ted, as they're both on their dates, like Nicole is looking at Ted and Shanice, and then Ted would be looking at Nicole. You know, sorry. Shanice is, she's like, oh, she's, excited about being here. Ted is giving her compliments. Nicole is watching or whatever, and she's just like, you know what, I'm ready to go. So they go out to leave, and Ted is watching her go and all this other stuff. So after the dinner or whatever, Ted and Shanice go back to his place, and they get busy or whatever. We see Nicole is back at her place, and she's like, she's a little sad, and just basically like realizing, like, you know what, he really is moving on. I need to move on. And although this is a house that I've lived in with my husband, and I've only done anything with my husband in this house, like, I just need to move on. So her and Carlton get it on. And they did show the scenes back to back or whatever. I will say Carlton and Nicole scenes was more sensual than Shanice and Ted's. I don't know. They just looked awkward to me, at least. But I did like Nicole and Carlton's scenes. And don't get me wrong, when we first were introduced to Ted, not Ted, I'm sorry, when we were first introduced to Carlton, I was like, I remember on in my video or whatever, I was just like, I wouldn't mind if Nicole had got with Carlton, if she, like, just because, again, when we were first introduced to him, we really, like, it was just like, oh, he walked in the scene and Nicole greeted him, and it was just like, I could see her cheating on Ted with him because, again, at that time we had already known that Ted had an outside baby or whatever. And then when we found out who he was, and it was like his business partner, his line brother, his best friend, all this other stuff, it was just like, that's a little too close to home. That feels weird. And then after a fact, it was just like, you know what? It's a soap. It is what it is. We got people messing with brothers, husbands. You got Hope messing with father and son, both ways. Like, she's just, just every which way or whatever. They do that on this. They do that in soap. So it's okay. It's understandable. But then when you find out that Carlton has been wanting to get with Nicole the whole time she's known her, so that means that the whole time I was married to her, you've been wanting to know her, because I don't know if Nicole knew him first or if she met him through Ted. It's very, I don't know. I can't remember, because I've heard, like, initially when we first met him, it was made out to be that she met him through Ted. She met Carlton through Ted. Then once the thing bust up, and there was a scene where he was talking with Danny, and he was just telling Danny how he's been in love with her since they were kids. And it was just like, but I thought, so I don't know what the backstory is. I'm not really sure. But if she did meet him through Ted, then that's sketchy, because it's just like, you've been wanting my wife and you're supposed to be my best friend, my business partner, and my line brother. But if he's known her longer than she's known Ted, then it is what it is. It's a soap, whatever. With Shanice and Ted, I don't think that, Shanice and Ted, Shanice isn't, like, she not really friends with Nicole. Like, they're associates, they're work associates, work friends, work associates. Like, we don't talk to each other outside of work. So it ain't that, to me. It's just like, it is what it is with them. But yeah, those are my thoughts. We see Tomas. He's at the firm with Bill, and Bill is chewing him out, like, why are you still here? I've already told you that I want you to have any of my business partners or partners of the firm will have a work-life balance. You said that you wanted to build a life with my niece, and you not being with my niece, like, that's not cool. Da, 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 da. So Bill, like, Tomas is just like, well, you telling me all it is, but you still at work too, so what's up? And Bill is just like, it's do as I say, not as I do type stuff. So he's just like pissed or whatever. So Tomas leaves, and Danny shows up. She brings this man dinner or whatever, and she's like, oh, I wanted us to celebrate. We didn't get a proper celebration for our girls finding out that they were negative or whatever. So they're eating and they're reminiscing, and then Danny is being woe is me, like, what if I do get the big C and my looks fade? Will Andre still want me, and all this other stuff? And it's just like, we're more physical than anything, and all this other stuff. And it's just like, first of all, you are talking to the man who gave you the insecurities that you have. He is the reason why you are so insecure about a man. So it's just like, why would you even talk to him about these things? Like, you have a sister that you can talk to about this. You have two best friends that you can talk to about this. You have your husband that you can talk to about this. But you really brought this to the man who made you feel less than by cheating on you and disrespecting you and embarrassing you in every which way baffles me. But she's having this conversation with him, and he's telling her like Andre wouldn't leave you because you're whatever he was saying, and it was just like, sir, so annoying. So she kisses him, and they're like kissing or whatever, and then she stops it, and she's just like, we can't do this, we can't do this, no one can find out about this, da 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 da. And as he's saying that, I won't tell anyone, da 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 da, he looks to the corner and he sees Tomas. So we also see Haley and Lynette. They're at Orphe Jeans, and Lynette is telling Haley like she ain't got no money. She broke. She just got this bill from the law firm, and she can't pay for it. And Haley was just like, "Well, we do payment plans." And Lynette was just like, "You not hearing me? I don't have no money to be on no payment plan, but you know what? I can figure out a way to get this done." Yeah, I can figure out a way. And Haley is just like, well, we take on pro bono cases, and I can make this a pro bono case. And then Lynette is all happy about it and all this other stuff. So she leaves, and we see Vanessa. She's also at Orphe Jeans, and Lance rolls up on her, and he's just like, um, yeah, you doing this escort business, and my wife calling y'all. The next time she calls, don't give her, she can't get no man, she can't get no business with you. Like, you need to nip that in the bud. And Vanessa's just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. If you was doing what you was supposed to be doing in the bedroom, she wouldn't be calling my company. And he snatches her up, and she's just like, let go of me, and he not listening. He just like getting in her face, and Randy rolls up and is just like, when a woman tells you to let go, you need to let go. And he's like, oh snap. So he lets go, and Vanessa thanks Randy for stepping in or whatever. And he was just like, I got, I wouldn't, it wouldn't feel right to, like, Doug was my boy, da 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 da. So, of course I'm gonna come and step in for my boy and all this other stuff. And like, I wouldn't, just do you like that. So she's very appreciative, and she leaves. We see him go and talk to Haley, and Haley is just like, basically saying like things are on the look come up, and she about to get him out and Bill out and all this other stuff. And it was just like, girl, you not doing, your man right now is over there kissing on another chick. But before Randy came to her, Tomas had came in, because once Vanessa leaves, Randy calls Joey, and he tells him about Lance. Tomas comes in because he was coming to pick up a to-go order. He sees Haley, and he goes and tells her, like, Bill doesn't is saying this, and he's saying one thing and he's doing another. And Haley is just like, oh, it's a test, you should go back to work, and da 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 da. And that's when he goes back to work, and he sees Danny and Bill kissing. So we see Elon, and Elon goes to see Joey, and he's basically telling him, look, my son, there's a new criminal ring or empire that's popping up in here, and I just need to make sure that you're not a part of it, because I can't protect you from my son, and I can't protect my son from you. Tell me now, are you a part of this? Um, um, I forgot what it was. I think it's like blood stealing or something like that. I don't know, but Joey lets him know, like, no, I'm not a part of it. It's not me. I'm not into that stuff. I'm strictly casinos, and stuff like that. But I have heard about the person, they call him the Impaler. Yeah, they call him the Impaler or whatever, because they're still in plasma. That's what it is. So they call him the Impaler, and he's not scared, but he's just like the man is cutthroat. So let Jacob know, like, to be careful, because of course Elon tells him that Jacob is about to go undercover, and it's just like, oh, what? But yeah. whatever. So then we see Jacob and Jacob meets Smitty at Orphe no at the club, and he's thanking him for the tip. So it was um Jacob that Smitty was on the phone with in that one scene a few days before this episode or whenever that episode was. So Smitty gave him a tip about the plasma ring, the stolen plasma, and all this other stuff. So Jacob gave it to the police, and so now he's about to go undercover. And Smitty was just like, I want to help, and Jacob was just like, yeah, nah. Smitty is just like, I'm gonna do it with or without you. Jacob was just like, fine. Or just irritated, but he's just like, fine, we'll do it together. Kat sees them and she's telling Chelsea like something ain't right with them, like something don't seem right or whatever. So sorry. So Kat sees them. She's telling Chelsea because her and Chelsea because they decided not to eat. They decide not to go and eat or whatever. They are talking, and Chelsea is telling Kat about how she had took the pill, and Madison is mad, and Kat is there for her. She's giving her advice, like trying to like tell her what she should do, how she should fix this, and also like telling her like, girl, why would you do this in front of your doctor girlfriend? Because Chelsea, again, why would you do this in front of your doctor girlfriend? Like, ma'am. So after they've talked about the whole Madison thing, Chelsea and Kat go and confront Jacob and Smitty to see what they're doing, and they're just like, "Oh, we have our in-law meeting. We just get together, and they make up some cockamamie reason that they're together." And they show this little handshake that the in-laws have, and they're just like, Chelsea's just like, "Oh." Chelsea was just like, "Oh, okay, y'all are cute." I was just like, Chelsea is a mess. So Smitty and Jacob leave, and Kat is just like, yeah, nah, something ain't right with that. And she got her finger on the pulse. So the episode ends, and that was this episode. It was a little quick one too. A lot of people was on the episode, but they was just like moving story. We're now getting a little bit more information on the plasma ring. So we find out again that they're still in plasma. Jacob is going undercover. And the person who's in charge is the impaler. So now we're going into a new storyline. So yeah, we about to see what's about to happen with that. But that was the episode. Again, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. Get down in the comments, tell me what you guys thought of the episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. I don't know why I always do this, but I continue to forget Joey and Vanessa scenes, and I don't know if it's because I'm so confused by how fast they're moving and what their story is about, and the fact that he took out her husband and she's acting like a kid in a candy store when it comes to this man, and she's like really going hard in the paint for this man, and she don't even know half of the things that he's done. Like, it just doesn't, like, yeah. But anyways, so in this scene, this is after she had ran into Lance, so she goes to the club to bring Joey some food or whatever, and Joey again already knows about Lance showing up because Randy had called him. So he's trying to get her to tell him without asking her, but then he sees her arm, and then she tells him like, oh, it was nothing, he's X, Y, and Z, and this and that. And he was just like, oh yeah, nah, he about to get dealt with. And she was just like, no, I got it handled, it's gonna be okay, I got it. And he's just like, all right, but something about to happen to him. But again, I forgot about this scene because again, I don't know about them. I really honestly don't know about them. They're very confusing to me as a couple because again, like her going all in on the escort business with him, and she was so quick to be like, okay, yeah, you can money launder through my real estate company, and she's so money hungry that it just, like, I don't know, it just throws me off because it's just like, do you really like this man for him, or do you like him because he is putting money in your pocket? Because clearly Vanessa will screw over anybody if she can get a deal, some money out of it. And that's why I just be so like taken out of their scenes. But again, that was the episode. So again, I'll see you guys in the next one.